Alright, so I want to follow up on the LR Kale and Caulifla discussion going on in the community. There's a lot of people that actually don't really like the new LR Kale and Caulifla, and I think there is a couple of reasons for that. First and foremost, a lot of people really wanted a Kefla, and there's been a lot of discussion on they should have done Kefla, why don't they fuse? And I think it's fair to say that. Now, I would say, we could talk about like Dokkan budget all day. Realistically, Bandai should be able to fund the game as much as possible for what Dokkan wants. But realistically, if we're gonna, say that, Bandai only will allocate a certain amount of revenue towards actually making the game. Whatever amount that's decided on, we have no idea. Concerning the amount of, like, I think not only just extra content this year, I feel like, but we did get 2 extra LRs during the anniversary year. I kind of understand why, making a whole third like tag plus fusion character in the year, and for all we know, we're likely going to get a couple of extra tags later on during this year as well. I'm like, I kind of get it in that sense, but I think that they probably should have just brought out a new LR Kefla in general. Kale and Caulifla, really cool moment. I think that at least for fans of the characters, I like Kale and Caulifla. I'm not like a mega Kale and Caulifla fan though. And I would say the only thing is that this moment technically has been represented, not in really good animations though. These animations are like pretty high quality. So I am not like, oh, this card didn't like deserve or didn't need a new version, because realistically, AJLR Kale and Caulifla is a 2019 character. The animations are, far and away from what they are today. So I'm okay with it. I like the unit. I think they seem really fun. But again, we're going to take a look at some of the replies here and some of the replies in the actual tweets themselves. I think people are misunderstanding how the character works as well, especially on the kill part. And if we get to that, we will. So seems really good, but you see serious key issues at some point. Also, usage sucks. I think that is honestly a very fair statement to make. I talked about this in the original video, but Universe 6, like, okay, even if you use both of Caulifla's, like, active skills, which gives each active skill will give 1 key and 16% attack and defense to Universe 6, that's not gonna suddenly make Intakaba runnable, And AJL Kel and Caulifla probably not gonna be anything crazy with that buff. AJL Kel was not gonna become suddenly insane. Like, I don't think that buff is sufficient enough for some of these older characters. Now, it's very likely Tech Kel and Caulifla get an easy A. So, okay, let's assume you have the leader, Kel and Caulifla. Excuse me, you have Int Hit. I mean, if you're going to run a full U6 team, you might as well run Magetta as a floater, I guess, right? He'll probably be still better than some of the other options. And then it's like STR Kefla you'd run, and then that's 4. But then, like, who else do you run? If they easy, that's 5. But you're kind of missing a 6th member, and it's like STR Kefla's not like crazy like she once was, realistically. You could run STR Kale, you could probably get Tech Caulifla on the team. I mean, Tech Caulifla, in events where she has the guaranteed dodge, will be a very valuable character to run. But I feel like it's a thing of this character is not going to be providing much in terms of damage. And I feel like damage, especially in these like longer red zone fights, is very important this year compared to previous year, just because the bosses have so much HP now. And eventually, you can't really tank through an event like you could, like even back, even pre-red zone, but like even a year or 2 ago, I feel like you can kind of run a full defensive team and it would be fine. But just like during the 7th anniversary year, where you kind of needed damage to get through the amount of HP these bosses have, it's the same thing this year. And it probably will stay like that, because I think that's what their intention is. They don't want these fights to be over with in like a turn or 2. Outside of like Tech Vegito's active skill turn. Like, they don't want you to instantly finish these phases off. So yeah, I think that's a whole thing there. And the thing about the Universe 6 team is you don't have that push, right? Which is an issue, obviously. And then with the key issues, if you really take a look here, and I did miss this in my original breakdown, Kale does not have Ki in her passive, right? Caulifla has the full orb changing for one turn, and then you could switch over to Kale, then Kale could get like, you know, full Ki basically. And the thing about Kale is she does get 6 Ki in her active skill, which is actually on this page right here. She does get 6 Ki here, which is very helpful. And okay, if you consider you're running them on their own team, right? Let's say, again, that's a 4 Ki leader skill, so starting off at 8 Ki by itself. Then you go ahead and you'll get, excuse me, you'll get a couple of Ki from all their different healings. In fact, I could literally bring up the AGL Count Caulifla just so you guys can get a visual representation of it. But yeah, Battlefield Diva, which is 3 Ki. You have Warriors Universe 6, which is 2 Ki. You have Tournament of Power, which is 3 Ki. Then you have Prepare for Battle, which is also 2 Ki. And then, realistically, even without Prepare for Battle, you could just be starting off at 18 Ki. Or if you're on a 3 Ki leader skill, you'll be starting off at 16 Ki, right? So you're starting off at that level. And with 18 Ki, you do still need to collect 6 Ki spheres, which is not like, it does suck because there's no Rainbow Orb Changer on the team besides like that physical hit. But Kale does technically want 6 Ki anyway to launch 2 additional Ki spheres. I think what Kale should have done is create Rainbow Ki spheres potentially. I mean, besides physical Ki spheres, so that all those physical Ki spheres Caulifla changes won't like be affected. I think that's what Kale should have done, is been a Rainbow Orb Changer. Because again, Universe 6 is not like, there's no Rainbow Orb Changer here for this team. I think that's what we really need at this point, like a new Rainbow Orb Changer. Like, because in battles, you could probably, realistically, in battles is a character you probably could get away with. You just need to get very lucky with the dodges. It won't be a thing though in like these longer, you know, red zone fights that cancel dodge is the issue, and those are realistically all the hardest ones anyways, right? Tech, Kale, and Caulifla, I think they need to become a Rainbow Orb Changer. I think that's something that'll be very important for this new LR, and I think that people are valid in saying that's an issue. But okay, let's continue saying that you do also have the option of popping both Caulifla's active skills. And again, keep in mind, Caulifla will give the entire team 1 Ki and 16% attack and defense on the Universe 6, right? So again, if we're assuming you're running the Universe 16, you're gonna be able to pop that, and then you're actually sitting at 20 Ki with Kale, which means that you only need 4 Ki spheres to hit the 24 Ki to go ahead and get the max ability of this, the 66% defense for every Ki. I think people are misunderstanding. This is what I was saying people were misunderstanding. It's not 66% defense for each Ki sphere obtained. It's 66% defense for every Ki the character's out. So if Caulifla or if Kale is sitting there at 24 Ki when the turn actually starts, so you get 66% defense times 24 Ki, and that's 1,584% defense. So that's why Kale has a really, really high defensive stat without needing to stack or anything. She's like 45 defense, like 45 mil defense range. I mean, we could take a look here at Halbert's calculations, right? And this is with the Caulifla active skill, I'm assuming, right? Which bumps her up to 4.4, right? 40% support, she's at 5 mil. But this is like not considering both active skills, I believe. So with both of them, she could be pushed up to 5 mil range just by itself without even having any support abilities here. So yeah, I mean, Kale could be very tanky because that's all that with guard. Like, these red zone bosses are not damaging her. So I don't know. I just want to bring that up here. Router likes them a lot. Platy does not like them. I think it's fair because of this case that it is, they are pretty much a, what's the word? I forgot what I was going to say. They are, I forgot the word I was going to say, actually. No, wait, oh, they're not a Kefla, that's why. They look good, and you like they don't fuse because exchange units weren't interesting that way. I guess that's fair. let's see here. Just translate here. Last year, later this year, we'll have another celebration where we'll welcome Kefla, just like with Gotenks and Super Gogeta. I think the characters are good and looking forward to play them. In theory, Gotenks should be included in this banner. Yeah, I could see Gotenks return in this banner. Potentially, I think that's a good estimate. Or actually, no. I think Jiren returned to this banner, funny enough. And I have a video talking about, like, the new schedule. I'm going to try and get it out tomorrow. I'm going to edit it tonight. We'll see how things happen. But yeah. Will Kel be used ever? Yeah, Kel's really good. No stack. And if anything, after the one turn with Kale, if you don't want her out still, you can switch back to Caulifla. No stacking. I guess that's fair, right? Stacking will only benefit. I don't think this character is designed for festival battles, of course, since they're not a stacker. But I think Kale is still enough to handle her own. More than enough in red zones. Dodge unit in a world full of dodge canceling. Well, she has dodge, Caulifla. And then you switch out to Kale. And keep in mind, even on that first turn for Kale, if there's not dodge canceling when you bring Kale out, she'll have Caulifla's dodge chance of the 18 key super attack effects, right? Because Caulifla gives herself, I think it's 26% dodge on the 18 key super for 3 turns. So, actually, she'll only have the 26% dodge chance, my bad, because this won't have stacked with the second turn, but she'll have a little bit of dodge in her kit right there. So that's cool. Leads and supports a bad team, yeah. And no fusion, yeah. Should have gone tag Blue Falcon and Evolution Vegeta instead. I guess that would have been cool as well, but I think they did want to go ahead and buff Universe 6. And Universe 6 has still potentially become a good category. What they need to do is they need to introduce, I mean, ideally later this year at this point. First, we need to get Easy Account Caulifla. They should just Easy into Kaba. Then what we need is a Dokkan Fest Caulifla. Then a Part 2 LR Kefla. Like, what if the December LR is Caulifla? The Carnival LR is Kefla. And then the Easy AGL Kel. And then let's imagine a team where we have the new LR Kel and Caulifla, Int Hits. We have a Dokkan Fest Caulifla, AGL Kel, EZA Tech Kel, Caulifla, EZA, new LR STR Kefla. You can still potentially use STR Kefla here. Whatever Caulifla's ban unit will be. Maybe Int Kaba's a good support unit. Maybe, you know, Magetta you could still just get away with by running him as a floater in Universe 6. Like, that's what we need. We still need another drop of Universe 6 characters as a celebration in order for this team to actually be relevant. And then at that point, we will then get Anniversary and the team will be obsolete again. But, you know, that's how things end up happening. There will also be Worldwide. We'll see what kind of potential event Power Creep Worldwide brings. Every year, Worldwide and Tanabata brings some sort of event that ends up being harder than the Anniversary content. So, you know, yeah. We'll see. The I believe it's, well, now it should be called the Global Dokkan Celebration, right? They look good, but you need to try them out if you could pull them. I personally want it summoned right now. See so many souls at the Anniversary. You wonder how the swap of Tanabata Worldwide is going to affect where fetal plays are summoned. Yeah, I'm actually going to be talking about that tomorrow in that video that I mentioned earlier. So yeah. Outside of kills, 1 turn, 6 turn with the full field, you don't really see them do anything impressive. I think that's fair because I could see, like, outside of that turn with Kale, she's not going to be doing, like, those 5 super attacks. She'll be doing, or 6 super attacks potentially. She'll only be doing a max of 4. But we'll see. I mean, I guess another thing you could say is that if you do use Kale's active skill, instead of getting the support, she does give herself 6 key. So let's assume you're using Kale Caulifla, this LR, on another team. You could use them, actually, you actually are able to use them on AGO Gogeta's team, which is very funny. So let's say, again, you have the 6 key from the 3 key in each leader skill. Then you get the 6 key from the active skill. Then you do have them linked up with a character that'll give them Battlefield Diva, which is 3 key, plus Warriors Universe 6, which is, I believe that's also, I forgot the exact key that Warriors Universe 6 gives, I can't lie. That is 2 key, Tournament Powers, 3 key, Prepared for Battles, 2 key. Kale's actually technically starting at 22 key, right? And the thing is that you won't really care about giving Universe 6 support outside of her own team. So, realistically, this LR, not on Universe 6, is going to be quite consistent. On Universe 6 is where the issue could be kind of you could run into for the issue, right? Um, yeah. So that's pretty much it there. Secret contender for the best unit in the game. I kind of have to test it. I don't think Universe 6 is good enough, like, for their own team. And I don't think they're a secret contender for best unit in the game either, realistically. I don't see, because the thing about this character is, at least how I will rate characters, I really value how good they are in all three of the primary difficulty events we have right now, which is the Red Zone, Battle Hardened Formidable Foes, and then Festival Battles. I think all three of those should be contention for how I rate characters myself anyways. And if that's the case, this character is not going to be used in the Festival Battles, pretty much. Like, you're not running them there. It's not even like potentially defensive wise. Kale might be able to take some normals at the end of the events. But the issue is offense, especially, and they're just not a stacker, so they're not meant for that event. For Battle Hardened Formidable Foes, Caulifla is a dodge character, but the thing about Caulifla is she doesn't have like debuffs, she doesn't have consistent dodging. She's a character that wants to build up. I'm not really sure if she'll be too crazy for Battle Hardened Foes. She might be a decent option. I do think the Universe 6 team itself can be quite good for the fight, though, especially with Hit around. Hit is really good for the Battle Hardened Formidable Foes fights. You could probably even get away with Battles a little easier in that kind of fight right there, because Battles is an attack lowering character. So I do like this right here. There's less opportunities for her to get tagged because you'll kind of just be floating her around, and realistically, she'll be on 1, maybe 2 turns. If she gets touched, it could be very dangerous, but another thing is that they kind of want to hit turn 6, so pointless. I don't know. It seems like the replies here aren't that bad, but if we take a look here at the actual Twitter account, you can see, oh, okay. People, yeah, seems terrible. Onomagata, Goku Cook, 23 Keyspheres, Universe 6. Broken, no Kefla, Universe 6 lead, no stacking's rough. Yeah, fumble. LR Kefla locked up with Kid Buu. I mean, people aren't really liking this character, but I think they're good, honestly, for what they are. I mean, they are a Carnival R, so this is realistically a character that I would say should be held up to par with other Carnival Rs. I don't know, I'm not really seeing, like, the issue with this character. I mean, if we're gonna rate them with the Anniversary Carnival Lars range, I think they are at least in that discussion, bare minimum. Like with Blue Evolution Vegeta, I would say I like this character over all the Anniversary Carnival Lars, like, except for Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I would say Super Saiyan 4 Goku. It's kind of like this, the one that stands out. But, like, okay, this character or Blue Evolution Vegeta? I would take this character. I'm thinking this character or Goku Frieza. I'm thinking I'm taking this character or Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. I'm also thinking I'm probably taking this character. Just overall, but it's very situational. Anyways, let me know what y'all think. Thanks for all watching. And again, this character will probably be releasing, I'm assuming, on the 15th. So we're still a few days away. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.